You are listening to the Postcast, presented by the Locked On Senators podcast, following a 5-2 Ottawa Senators win on the road against the Detroit Red Wings. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller. This one was fun. Start to finish, I will have a little bit of complaining to do, but start out with how you saw this one from start to finish.
Yeah, definitely an entertaining hockey game. This is the type of game we were hoping for when we talked about it this morning, Ross, and we got it. A 5-2 win for the Ottawa Senators. And a lot of storylines we talked about hit. Like Søgaard started 7-0 in the AHL. How about a 1-0 start in the NHL? Not bad. Norris, power play goal in front of family and friends against the weakest PK in the league. You got it. And Joseph, hey, that was the extra bonus, although we did do the Joseph card giveaway. And
we will be doing the Joseph card giveaway. Stay tuned.
And rumor had it, if you liked the tweet and followed along, Joseph would score. So apparently plenty enough people liked and followed along because he got his first career Hattie. You'll love to see it. And to get your first goal as a Sen and then follow it up with two more after a 22 goal game goal drought, not bad at all, Joseph. He looks good with the boys.
He certainly does. He looked good before he had a hat trick in this one. And Cheryl Pounder pointed out at intermission that he was the best player for the Ottawa Senators in this game. And not only did he get a hat trick in this game, do you count it as a natural hat trick? I guess Lucas Raymond messed up the party there.
But still do, right?
No, it's not natural.
But
it's got highlights in it. It's the Ricky Martian of natural hat tricks.
The Ricky Martian, nice.
However, he still gets a third period hat trick. Pretty impressive when the game was not out of reach by any stretch after two periods. It was tied, in fact, at 1-1. So,
Ross, do you have the stats of when it's tied after two periods?
I can pull that up real quick.
Yeah, because we know the stats trailing and leading off by heart now with how often it gets posted, but tied. I don't know about that one.
After tonight, they are now 5-7-3 when tied after two periods.
Okay. So nothing spectacular there.
No, not really. They were tied after one period as well.
Yep.
When that's the case, they have 10 wins in 31 games, 10-19-2.
Could have been early 2-1 or even 2-0 lead for the Sens, though. I don't know. I think we could get into this, but I don't know how I feel about that goalie interference call because, and DJ says it right away, he's not in the blue. Like, it's not interference if he's decided to leave his safe zone. But the issue is, and I think this is how they explained it in the intermission, is sure, he's out of the blue, but the interference by Formenton pushing the defenseman into him has caused him to be not able to get back into the blue and to stop the goal. So I think that's what the ruling is. But I mean, plays, pushes and shoves like that in front of the net are happening literally nonstop. And I don't love that call, but if it goes the other way, like if that happened to the Sens, I would probably be a little frustrated as well. So I don't love it, and it seemed like a flip of a coin goalie interference call, classic NHL these days, but I can see it going both ways.
Yeah, fair enough. I said 99 out of 100 times the goal.
Good thing you left yourself a little breathing room.
I think you know where I stand on that one, especially the fact it almost felt like Moritz Seider rather was going like kind of losing balance already.
And he's literally known for being able to bounce people off of him when they try to make contact. So, like, come on.
Fun battle, by the way. Brady Tkachuk and Moritz Seider all night. There wasn't like that one signature moment where they were going at it, but every time the puck came to Seider, Brady would take two extra strides. And there was one play where you could tell Seider was upset because Seider made the pass, and it was as the puck was going off his stick, Brady kind of put on the Jets, like, just so you know, I'm finishing this hit. Yeah, and I don't think Seider appreciated that too much either. Now, we got to give credit where it's new. Nerdler putting like Lucas Raymond is sick.
He's good.
He is such a good hockey player. He gets both Red Wings goals, but outside of Lucas Raymond and to a lesser extent Moritz Seider, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. One, because he's a rookie. Two, the rest of that decor is horrendous. Like that might be that they make the Senators decor look like they might be top 5 in the league if you didn't have a little bit more idea of what the other teams have. But they were a mess, especially in the first period. Like, look at the goal outside of the goalie interference. Sure, they called it whatever. they had 3 or 4 opportunities to move that puck out of the zone, and each time it was like a grenade went off on their stick, and it just like fluttered around. Next thing you know, it's in the back of the net. And I thought that was a trend throughout the game, and I liked that Ottawa was quick to jump on those loose pucks. I thought the Sens used their speed through the neutral zone tonight, and a big part of that was how Mathieu Joseph carried the mail. So I loved what I saw from him. So that was one. Let's get the ref talk out of the way because we have a ton of Sens.
We don't talk about refs on this show.
We don't talk about the refs, but can we talk about linesmen though?
Yeah. Oh my God, that has got to be one of the dumbest rules ever.
Oh, which one? Are you going with the Timmy play?
Yeah, the high sticking.
Yeah. Okay. You want to explain the rule?
I mean, I'll try.
Yeah, good luck.
So Timmy clearly gets high sticked in the face, and like it's one of those high sticks where like it hurts so bad you drop your stick and you just go to the bench. Like, I'm done. Like, I got nailed in the face. It's very obvious. And the linesman, he catches it right away, blows the whistle. But apparently, a linesman can only call that play if the player's bleeding, because then it's certain, okay, obviously he did get hit and there's blood, so it's proving it. So that's a 4-minute or double minor, if you will. So the fact that he wasn't bleeding, they weren't able to conclusively say he got high sticked, and the refs were like, well, we didn't see it, so we can't call it. So I like, just what a weird play in general, like what a weird rule to have. Like, why is the linesman allowed to blow it if it's a double minor, but not if it's not? Like, why is he allowed to blow it at all? Like, typically it's only the refs that can blow down a call for a penalty, right?
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. I guess if there's an injured player, they get a pass, but the difference between blood and no blood, I don't think it takes away how egregious that high stick was.
That's the thing. So it's just so weird. And I would almost think at that point, the refs got to just be like, well, yeah, I trust my linesman seeing it, so I'll say I saw it, and that's a 2-minute high sticking penalty. But man, if you're Timmy, that's gotta feel pretty crappy. Like, sorry, I didn't get hit in the mouth harder.
Well, and then, so that was at one end, and then later on in the period, towards the end of the period, maybe the worst penalty call I've seen all season, where Mathieu Joseph, they're already shorthanded. It's a fantastic back check by him. He lifts his stick. He's going the other way, and he gets called. What did you think of that one?
I'm trying to find where I had it in my notes on that one, because I don't remember that one.
Well, that's what put them down 5-on-3 at the end of the second period. So Joseph's just putting on great back.
Yes, yeah. It's a weak hooking penalty is what I got in the notes here. Yeah, it was a great defensive play, getting back and stopping Larkin from fully getting that shot off, and they call it a hooking penalty. That was a garbage one for sure.
That was absolutely brutal. Now talking a little bit more positive. Are we done with the refs? We don't talk about the refs on the show, but we had to just...
I'm good with the refs there. That double minor linesman thing is still baffling me.
They did make a good point, or a fair point, not a good one, but think of all the veteran refs who have retired over the last couple of years, like those household names that you hear, and now it just feels like it's this new crew that's learning on the job and making a lot of mistakes along the way. It's a tough game to be reffing at that speed, but at the same time, it's the best league in the world. You hope that the league can have the training and the financial compensation to get the best of the best when it comes to the referees, and it just hasn't been the case. I don't think Red Wings fans would say they love the refereeing in tonight's game either. I thought it was just poor. It didn't make or break the game, I don't think, by any stretch of the imagination. Both teams, I believe, did both teams score on the power play? Obviously, Josh Norris got one. Was one of Raymond's?
No, Red Wings 0 for 5.
Yeah, so shout out the Sens PK, because they were actually -1 for 5 because Austin Watson scores a shorty to open up the scoring in this game. That's a great place to start. We'll go with the Michigan boys. Both of them get one. Ann Arbor's finest, Austin Watson, and then Oxford's own on the power play. Great when they pan up. There's the box of 20 or so family and friends there witnessing Josh Norris, where, again, everybody knows it's coming, but there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
And they talked about it, Ross. 14 power play goals for Josh Norris, tied for 4th in the league. And he's missed so many goddamn games.
15.
I think he tweeted it. Yeah, 15 games. Like, it's awesome. And, especially without, Batherson still kind of getting back into the mix. Timmy doesn't shoot it enough. Brady's more of jamming in front of the net type of guy. So, option A is Norris. And it's so obvious, but it still gets through.
You ready to see the names that he's joined? And again, he's missed 15 games.
Pasternak, one of them?
Let's go with the guys he's tied with first. Okay, so he's tied for 4th with the following players. David Pasternak, Matt Duchene, sends abroad, Austin Matthews, and Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah, holy crap.
Known as some pretty good power play guys. The only ones with more, he has 14. Mikko Rantanen has 16. Draisaitl has 20. And Chris Kreider has 24 power play goals. Season. 10 more. So that's pretty incredible there. But you just knew he's just automatic. And that was right after they killed off both ends of the 5-on-3. And that's what's kind of cool about going down 5-on-3. Sure, in the moment it's stressful and there's so much opportunity to really change the game. You allow 2 goals. Talk about Captain Obvious. But if you're the penalty killers that can get away with not allowing anything, all of a sudden the momentum just rotates onto your side. And the Senators took advantage of that. Were moving their feet. They drew the penalty. And then following that penalty, you just know it's too easy from there. And again, maybe Lucas Raymond doesn't really like that call on Artem Zub. He didn't like it right after the play was made, 49 seconds into the period. He felt like he was just a toe pick. But we saw that on both ends tonight. So you know what? It's about taking advantage of your opportunities. The Senators did that, going 1 for 2 on the power play, and the Wings didn't, going 0 for 5. So that's a pretty easy way to draw where the difference was in this game. What else do you think separated these two teams at the end of the night?
Ross, we're 13 minutes in and we haven't given proper stick taps to Mad Søgaard. What shame on us as a goalie-friendly show. First NHL career win. And guest on the show we've been rooting for a while, the Great Dane. I thought he made a bunch of great saves. The one thing I will kind of harp on him is kind of seemed like he had 2 blockers out there. The glove wasn't really catching much. There was
Matt Murray syndrome.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times where that should be a snag, but it falls loose. And one of them results in a goal, actually. So that's tough. But other than that, I thought he was solid. And it's like watching a unicorn out there, a 6'7" goalie. Like they showed on the broadcast, like goalies that are that tall. There's not a lot of them. So watching him move like that, and just like even when he's crouched over, like his pads look miniature, but they're probably like half the size of us. And he's a spectacle, and he deserved that W, and the boys are fired up about it.
Do you think there's something to say about the confidence of a team turning around and seeing a guy that big, that intimidating in goal?
I think so. I mean, hey, just surface area wise, like math guy here, you're going to cover up more of the net. It's you have better odds unless you kind of use it against you. And I thought Matt Søgaard, we talked about it. We don't want him getting out of position too much. I thought he was pretty good with that. He's able to read the play well. So really stick taps to Matt Søgaard. He was the first star of the game. I think it was just an absolute amazing game. What a debut. Wow.
He was also the 3rd youngest Ottawa Senator to win an NHL regular season game. As we like to do, we'll turn it into trivia. Can you name the 2 younger Senators goalies to win a hockey game than Matt Søgaard?
It was on the broadcast, wasn't it? Emery and Leonard.
Yes. Leonard, 19 years, 173 days old. Razor Ray Emery, 20 years, 174 days. And tonight, Matt Søgaard at 21 years, 109 days becomes 3rd. And Brian Elliott, Philip Gustafson, 4th and 5th on that list. I would have blown my brains out had I gone through the days and years once again. That was plenty. That was plenty enough. But it is a great night for the Great Dane. However, not a whole lot of scoring chances for Detroit.
There's a couple good chances. Like I thought his blocker side was really good. Like
which blocker side?
Yeah, fair. His regular blocker side, the right hand side, because he had to make a couple good shoulder saves and a couple of blocker saves. So yeah, I think if you're the Sens, your first taste of what Matt Søgaard can do in the NHL, you got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, Natural Statric has the scoring chances, 22 for Ottawa, 16 for Detroit, but that's still 16 scoring chances, and only 2 goals go past him in this game. Let's get to our Sen Central standouts, because I think it will work in to who we want to give some stick taps to next. Pillsy, I'll let you lead off.
Okay, well, I'm taking the lowest hanging fruit. This fruit is sitting on the ground, still ripe. Mathieu Joseph. I mean, the hat trick, and not only Ross, the hat trick, but 4 points in this game. So that's just incredible for a guy that had a 22-game goal drought. He hadn't had a goal with the Sens yet. And I think a big part of it, and I'm looking at Natural Stat Trick here too. Shout
Do you
out
see
them.
his line?
Look at the line, the Corsi for and
Yep.
against. 13-1 with Tyler Ennis.
What?
14-0 with Tyler Ennis. I guess they must have.
Oh, so I've got it all the way down as a line. So that's even so.
I've got it with the line mates. No worries.
I've got it as the line as a whole. So when Colin White was in between Mathieu Joseph and Tyler Ennis for 5 minutes and 45 seconds, the Senators had 13 shot attempts for and none against.
Yeah, because him with Colin White is 14-0. So there's the switch there. So yeah, that's pretty incredible for him to finally get put on the right line. And hate to kick Tierney while he's in the press box, but I mean, that just goes to show what can happen when you get him set up with the right guys. And him and Tyler Ennis have already shown they're good. And then Colin White, I think he's quietly been playing a good game. Maybe not up to his contract, but quietly he's been helping out. And I thought he's been a decent part of that second power play unit as well. So Mathieu Joseph, my Central standout. Absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, it was awesome because he has shown glimpses that the offensive flair was going to come, and it finally showed up in a big way. And don't you love it when a player gets 2 goals in a game and they've earned a hat trick? It always seems to find
hockey
them
gods. They smile on them
before the empty netter. And what do you think of the strategy of Detroit? Obviously, they get 1 back in that situation to make it 4-2, but they pulled the goalie with 6.5 minutes left.
I thought it was pretty fun. I kind of like when Mike Johnson announced it, I kind of laughed along too. Like, what? We got 6 minutes to go here. But like, if you're the Detroit Red Wings and a win or a loss literally means nothing at this point, and you're Jeff Blashill and you've got young guys trying to develop out there, hey, you don't get to simulate an empty net experience in practice very accurately because that pressure's not there, right? You need the pressure of, all right, we got an empty cage. They're going to be hungry to get points here. Let's stop them. So I think it's a good time to try to do it. And yeah, they cashed in on it pretty quickly the first time. So I think that's one you can't get too upset with Blashill.
No, it certainly isn't. And not only does Mathieu Joseph get 3 goals, an assist for 4 points, his first career 4-point game, he was also +3 with 7 shots on goal. And I'm just shaking my head seeing those 2 penalty minutes because it was a completely egregious call. And he only played 14:38. So it's not like this guy was out there for 20 minutes. Nobody was. DJ Smith did a pretty good job of icing a fairly balanced forward core. Yep. Conor Brown, shocker, plays the most, but still under 20 minutes. 1946 with Adam Gaudette stapled to the bench for much of it. Only 8:21. The only player under 11:56, which was Dylan Gambrell, the next lowest time on ice. For defenseman, Artem Zub plays a game-high 22:56, and the lowest ice time among defensemen is Travis Hamonic, but he certainly endeared himself to Senators fans. It was a little bit of a cheap hit by Tim Stützle, we'll say, where he rode Mark Stahl in from behind with a cross check, but that's what you want to see from Travis Hamonic. And for all the reports that came out about being an odd duck, whatever you want to say, that's old chatter, we'll say. Great photo coming in. Of course, it was a photo of Mad Søgaard dressed the nines, looking good. First NHL start. But did you notice that Travis Hamonic was walking in with Tim Stützle? I like that.
I didn't catch that. Nice. Yeah, good eye. Good eye.
And then what does he do? Jumps into the pile and makes sure that nobody's touching the young superstar.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Hamonic, maybe it's just a situation where he just didn't mesh with the guys in Vancouver, and whether, that's on them, that's on him, that's on the coaching staff, media, who knows where that relationship went sour, but he seems to be fitting in just fine in Ottawa. And if you're Michael Del Zotto, you got to be pretty stoked about him coming up because you've now found a D partner that's giving you a real good help showing management, hey, I don't need to be down in Belleville anymore. Just stick me with a veteran that I can work with, and I'll get things done in the NHL. I thought Del Zotto, not an amazing game from him, but I didn't see any glaring mistakes, and I think the two have looked great together. So Hamonic, so far, it seemed like a decent pickup.
Yeah, it certainly has. Now, he has the bike helmet and shades right now. I don't know if we got into it all the way. I know I put up the poll. Who's it going to? Knowing that it's Travis Hamonic handing it out, and hilarious. I need to give credit to whoever did this. Someone quote tweet it. Have you seen this photo? It's at Sens Please Win PLS.
Okay.
Have you seen the photo where it's like two really nasty looking dragons, like they mean business,
and then one goofy one?
Yeah, the one goofy one has his tongue out. I think I did I grab it in time? Anyways, doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I got you. Verbal meme.
Yeah, verbal meme. They said that's me putting Josh Norris as one of the 3 potential players getting the bike helmet. Is the goofy one, and then Mathieu Joseph and obviously Matt Søgaard, the other 2. On Twitter at Send Central, 71% say that Mathieu Joseph should get it, whereas 77 in the postcast believe that will be the case. I'm going for the underdog. I think that because it's defenseman Travis Hamonic, he's seen goalies make their NHL debuts in the past. For him to get the win on the road, I think Matt Søgaard gets it. What about you?
And it was a goalie that gave it to him. So he's probably like, well, I got to hand it back to the crease here. And that's just Ross being a homer with the Belleville jersey on there. Matt Søgaard still has the Belleville mask on. So I'm with Joseph. Like, he really controlled the pace of this game. He had, let me double check here, but I think it was 7 shots.
Joseph, yes.
Yeah, 7 shots. The 4 points, first career NHL Hattie, first goals as a Sens player. And Hamonic was the first guy in on one of those goals for the Selly. So I just thought he was fired up about that. So, hey, either way is a right answer. But for me, I think it'd be Joseph.
Don't you think it was great to see the Senators win a game where their top line wasn't that great at 5-on-5? Of course, Norris gets the power play goal, but at 5-on-5, it definitely wasn't Norris, Tkachuk, and Batherson's best night.
No, I mean, Batherson gets an assist, but I didn't notice him at all. No shots on goal. And then Brady, other than getting involved physically, had 5 hits, but didn't notice a whole lot of him either. So it's great. And that's why I pick up Mathieu Joseph is so important. Now they have a secondary scoring punch. Even we mentioned it before he scored these 3 goals. He was in the mix, and he could have had a handful of goals in just the handful of games he's played as a Senators player. So adding him to their depth scoring is going to be huge in the future. And I thought he helped Formanton get going too. Formanton, I thought, had some great speed as well tonight.
Absolutely. So the Ottawa Senators win 5-2 over the Detroit Red Wings. Speaking of Formanton, what was your thoughts on his little back and forth with Tyler Bertuzzi, where he ends up getting both feet on the bench and then giving him a little whack? I was going to say a jab, but we know Bertuzzi's not into that.
Nice. I gotta give you that one. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't get called on that. The refs don't take too kindly to that, because if you let that kind of thing slip on the bench, then the next thing slips, and then where's the line, right? So usually if they see that, they'll nail you for it. So, and they don't like to be embarrassed having that replay shown too. So he's lucky, but that's why I love Formie. He's got speed and skill, but he's a sneaky, dirty player. He'll get under guys' skin, and he's chippy after the whistle. So he's my kind of guy.
He was doing that first shift of the game too. I don't know if it was Sider or someone. He went in hard on the forecheck, and then on the way back, boom, got him. It was great coming out of the zone. Nice little. He loves the stick work. It's like he's got a little magic wand in his hand. He's just trying to mix it up like that. So you know what? Formie gets 17.5 minutes tonight, kills 2.5. Yep. Shorthanded as well. I was going to say let all Senators in shorthanded time on ice, but of course, Conor Brown plays 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
On,
Nobody else had more than 2:26 in Formanton except for Conor Brown. Guy is an absolute stallion on a team. So let's see this continue going into Sunday's game, where it's going to be Anton Forsberg back at home, right? You don't get carried away and start the kid 2 in a row.
I mean, DJ Smith would never. I'm sure he just is so confident in Forsberg. I'm sure even getting Søgaard to start, Pierre had to call him 10 times, be like, you're starting Mads tonight, right? Hours before the game. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's Forsberg on Sunday.
Yeah, it certainly will. And we won't have much time to talk about this, as next time you'll hear from us will be during the postcast on Sunday. Are there any final notes? We'll give a quick preview of that before we go, especially considering it's the same team. Let's have one more note. Did I even give a standout? I think I did. Did I?
No, I don't think you did.
I don't think I did. I got carried away. Ooh.
Yeah, hey, that'll happen.
Holy moly. Which way do I go with this one? There's a couple options. Like, again, I feel like we already talked about it, though, but Travis Hamonic played a great game. All officially, even though we already talked about it, it's clear that he's a standout. But
someone's got to do it.
How's a .931 save percentage in your NHL debut? Fantastic. So, love that. I'll give 2 then, because that one, it just seems like again, low-hanging fruit, but I don't have the same extended rant to have on him because we've already kind of discussed it ad nauseum. This guy has been an absolute stud, and he was as good as he needed to be in tonight's game. So, you know what? I'll give some love to Austin Watson, another guy in his hometown. Nice. I thought that beyond the goal, which I think he surprised himself with that shot, it was awesome. Great celly, too. It almost felt like it was in a playoff game. There's a photo the Senators posted where he's going like this, and everyone in the crowd just looks so mad and so upset. So I think it's super exciting when you see a player that you just know is the heart and soul guy on the team. Everyone loves him in the room. And hey, what does he do? He goes out there and he gets his first shorthanded goal as a member of the Ottawa Senators. I'm sure that one felt good for Austin Watson. 3 hits, 2 shots, only played 11:55, but over 2 minutes of that was shorthanded. So we'll give a little stick tap to him as well. And let's hope that they can carry this momentum into Sunday. What did you think of the Detroit Red Wings? Looking at them from afar, like obviously Lucas Raymond is a very outstanding player, the way he can move in tight, find his teammates. But beyond that, what were your thoughts on this team?
Well, I didn't see much from my lookout player, Robbie Fabry, so I was disappointed in that. Really, I was expecting a bigger game from him. Maybe I'll catch him next time. My lookout
player on Sunday is Steve Yzerman.
Nick Lidstrom.
Yeah.
No, I thought I lost my train of thought here. No, Dylan Larkin. That's a guy I think a lot of people are low on, and he's one of the more underrated players in the league just because he's been playing on a Detroit Red Wings team that has only played in meaningless games his entire career, but he looked really good tonight. And other than high stick and Timmy in the face egregiously, I thought he's a player that legit top line talent, a Michigan guy captaining the Red Wings. So I'll definitely give him a shout out.
Yeah, 100%. I like that as well. And beyond it, there's not a whole lot. Hey.
Yeah, not a whole lot. And even Nedeljkovic, man.
Yeah, everyone was so high on him after his play, but again, look at Freddie Lalime down in Carolina right now too. Like, that system makes goalies look good. Having Pesce and Slavin, right?
David Ayers look good with the Hurricanes for crying out loud.
And it was the Leafs.
Yeah, fair. Ross, before we wrap up though, how about a 4-1 win for your Belleville Senators?
Shit. And not
huge.
And how about, it's like we're doing a news program, and how about a 3-point night for Tyler Boucher?
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. What goal and 2 assists he finished with?
I believe so, yeah. Martian, I'm lost without Martian. I don't know what Tyler Boucher did.
Yeah, Ricky Martian. He's
too busy trying to find a new illegal stream to chop up.
To clip games on, yeah. But, hey, going back to the Belleville game quickly, though, Ross. A goal and an assist for Lassie Thompson, too. Roby Jarventi.
In his return.
Yep, he gets an assist. Jake Lucchini, obviously, keeping things going. And Sharkalov. Smells blood in the water. He scored as well. That's one hell of a win for Belleville, and they need to keep things going here because they got 2 more games this weekend, and Philip Gustafsson just played in this one. So I'm assuming Michael McNiven's got to get in one of these.
No, thanks.
Maybe where's Flodell at? Call him back up.
Yeah, no shit. He was solid. What was I going to say? I like giving out little breadcrumbs for those who join us in the postcast. We really appreciate it. I've been talking to Footy, Roby Jarventi or Lassie Thompson. I said either one likely to come on the show in the next week. So stay tuned for that. Stoked. I said whichever one wants to speak English with us for longer. We'd like to have. Initially I was like, how about both of them together? But it would be a little much. But they know each other from Eels, maybe in a year or two when they're more comfortable there. But getting back to tonight's game, we've got a nice little image from the locker room. The Senators just tweeting out this beauty of Matty J. Josie with the 3 pucks from the hat trick. That's got to feel good. And especially, we're always cheering for Nick Paul. He had 2 assists tonight. One was absolute highlight reel stuff. Did you see it?
No,
it was on a 3-on-1. He did a spinorama and put it between his legs right on the tape back door. It was sick. But guess what? You don't get 3 pucks for that, buddy.
No, you certainly don't. And yeah, Mathieu Joseph, what a beauty. This kid's fitting in so well. Like, I'm really fired up about that trade, especially because I think he's going to see the culture in Ottawa and he's going to see what's going on, especially when his best friend Thomas Schwab gets in the mix.
Yep.
He's going to want to stick around. So love that pickup.
100%. That's just awesome to see when somebody can come in and just fit in right away. Kind of like Alex Burrows. I wonder what people think of the trade now. Yeah, the 2 goals in his first game. Yep. Oh, man. Is there an acquisition that I've hated more from the moment that he was acquired? I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
That's got to be number one.
I made you delete a lot of tweets after that
one. If we're looking at advanced stats tonight, obviously if the line did well, they would do well individually. But Mathieu Joseph led the Senators with an 88.9 shot attempt percentage tonight. 24 shot attempts when he was on the ice in 11 minutes and 51 seconds at 5-on-5. Only 3 against. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. So hopefully he can continue that. Drake Batherson with a game low, only 4 shot attempts for, 16 against. And he's still easing his way back. He's still got a point in this game. It just shows you the kind of talent that we're dealing with Drake Batherson. But again, you can look at it from a positive standpoint where how often is it that the Senators' top line isn't amazing and Tim Stützle isn't fantastic? It was okay tonight, but you look at the second line playing the way they were, and then still the Senators are able to win a hockey game. So I think that you have to see that and be pretty excited going into Sunday.
Absolutely. Yeah. And at one point, Ross, they were getting it done all different kinds of ways. A shorty, a power play, and then even strength, maybe not in that order, but they had 3 goals all at different strengths. So that's what you love to see from a team that's rebuilding. Can you get it done in different kinds of situations? And they've shown they can do that. And it's so nice to see this team score 5 goals. Like it's been a while since we got to see a parade of goals. It feels like, well, no, you got to see 5 in Winnipeg, but definitely that was a fun game.
Yeah, it certainly was. And we also want to give some stick taps again, courtesy at Senators. They're Mad Søgaard with his puck after his first National Hockey League win. All right, let's do a quick looked out player and a lock-on player for Sunday's game. Then we'll get out of here, as I'm kind of at this point trying to postpone until we get the helmet video. Yeah. I don't think we're going to make it in time, though. It's about an hour after typically, but you can follow us on Twitter at Send Central. We'll obviously get the freeze frame, and at the end of the year, I'm going to go through and find all the freeze frames of the different guys. We'll put it to some nice montage music at the end. It'll be something very special. But for tonight, we're going to have that soon. Is this guy, is he messing with me? Okay, yeah, he is. He's counting the one they took off. PEI Senators, you got me there, buddy. He said they scored 6 tonight. Now I'm looking at the title. I'm looking at the scores. I could have sworn, but yes, you could certainly argue that the Ottawa Senators did score 6 goals. Yes, Joe, smash the like button before you leave. Support the boys. Hit us with a subscription as well. Sean McDonald is the winner, by the way, of the Mathieu Joseph autograph rookie card. He's been commenting, watching for a long time, and we appreciate you, Sean.
Shout out, Sean.
It's yours. So reach out, shoot us a message on YouTube with your email. I'll shoot you an email. I'll delete the message so your email is not just out there publicly, and then we'll get you your Mathieu Joseph autographed card. So that's great to see. Good stuff. Locked on player for Sunday, Pills.
I gotta say, you know what? I'll go with Formanton. He scored that goal that got disallowed, and I thought he played a good game. He was using his speed. It's going to be the same group of Detroit defensemen, I assume, here. So he's able to get burned by them. Mathieu Joseph was able to do it, so Alex Formanton's going to be able to. So he's my locked on player for Sunday's game.
All right, I'm going to go with Drake Batherson, a bounce back. Okay. I think he's going to watch some film on the flight and see how he can attack this. He's too good against this bad of a decor not to be producing. Yeah, so I think Sunday is going to be him for sure. So that's fantastic there. My lookout player is Filip Zadina, because I looked out for him tonight and I didn't see him once. I didn't see him at all in this game.
Yeah, I'm trying to find his ice time here. 13 and a half minutes of ice time. So he was out there. A guy who played similar amount of ice time, but put a lot more pucks on the net. Maybe didn't fill the net with pucks, but how about Adam Ernie? 5 shots on goal, and I thought he had a couple good chances that Søgaard kind of had trouble with. So he was someone that, for a depth guy that I don't really know much about, I kept seeing him and he kept popping up. So I'm going to be looking out for him next game.
All right. Well, the Ottawa Senators will play on Sunday afternoon. Reminder, Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern start, and we will have the postcast afterwards right here on the Locked On Senators YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching the postcast following a big win for the Ottawa Senators, 5-2 over the Detroit Red Wings, and we'll fill you in at Send Central on Twitter if you want to know who gets the helmet and the bike shades. But until then, we'll chat tomorrow. Let's get some Go Sens Go in the chat as we say congratulations as well to Sean McDonald for winning the Mathieu Joseph signed rookie card. And remember, there are going to be plenty more giveaways where that came from. So thank you very much for listening for Brandon Piller. I'm Ross Levitan. This has been the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast. Your team every day.